Hello, y'all. Welcome to another episode of TPC. I'm going to be by myself today, so we're going to be talking about college football week 3. The big headliner games, pretty much, if anything. So the first game that comes to my mind is this week is Tennessee Georgia. This is a really good matchup, if anything. You know, both these teams are top in the SEC. One team, Georgia's ranked number 6, I believe, and Tennessee's ranked, I believe, number 15, if I'm getting that correct. 15. And overall, both these teams are a really good matchup in my opinion. I mean, both these teams are going to go to the wire, especially Tennessee at home. It's going to be very interesting with this because this is Gunnar Stockton's first road game. If anything, he's playing at neutral sites, home games. If anything, so this is going to be tough, loud, and honestly, Voltown pretty much. And I mean, you look at the Vols. I mean, they've been very interesting this year. I mean, coming with their stats. Overall, a solid team this year. With losing Nico was a big loss for them, but I mean overall they've been solid this year. I mean nothing too crazy. They've been getting the job done against these top teams. If anything, Syracuse was a really good opponent week 1. I don't know who they played week 2, but I think they decently blew out the other team. And then going to Georgia though, Georgia's been owning these opponents pretty much. Marshall. I forgot who they played week before after this, but they've been dominating their teams pretty much in my opinion. So I mean. These teams are really good. Austin Perry, that's who they beat. But it was 28-6. I mean, you should have blown them out though, if anything. So this game might be a very if Georgia loses this game, don't be surprised because this is going into a game on the road too at Tennessee. I mean, this is going to be very interesting because I do believe last year they almost did lose to Tennessee, if I'm getting that correct, against Nico and them. It came down to the last seconds in that game, but I mean, it's going to be a tough battle. So if I have to say a team, I'm going to take the underdogs. I'm going to take Tennessee to win this game, if anything, though. Going to another game, I believe it's going to be very interesting and very underrated is Clemson. Clemson and Georgia Tech is going to be a very close game, if anything, because the thing is, Clemson almost lost to Troy last week. It was at one point in the game against Troy, if I'm getting that correct, it was 16 to 3 at halftime, 16-3, and then Clemson had a roar back all the way to winning this game 27-16. And I mean, you're supposed to be one of the best teams in the country. You're supposed to be the ACC favorites to win this division, and you're having tough games against Troy. And don't get me wrong, you lost to LSU a couple weeks too. I mean, this Georgia Tech team is not bad, dude. I mean, I think they're one of the decent teams in the country, if anything. I mean, you look at what they have with King. I mean, Hayton King, if I'm getting that correct, if the quarterback situation. But I mean, they're going to be a good game, dude, and it's at Georgia Tech too. Georgia Tech is favored in this game. I believe Clemson is favored by 6.5, by almost a touchdown in this game. So it's very, very interesting, honestly. I mean, it's going to be very close in this game. So I mean, it should be very interesting how this game goes. But I'm also going to take the underdogs in this game. I'm going to take Hanson King and those boys from Georgia Tech to win this game. And I honestly think Georgia Tech is going to make a road all the way to the ACC Championship. Them and Florida State and Miami, of course. But also, speaking about Miami, Miami's playing the red-hot USF Florida, Bulls, pretty much. I mean, this team has been red hot. I mean, beating Boise week 1, that was ranked number 25 team. Getting that and beating Florida last week. Baron Brown, if I'm saying the name right, is a name that you got to remember, man. I have seen so many highlights of this kid. I mean, I've seen him from my dynasty too. I mean, he won the Heisman a couple times, but this guy is making a statement. And this coach has changed the culture there. And I mean, he's definitely going to be a coaching. I mean, maybe in the SEC, maybe bring Baron Brown wherever he goes. Maybe I don't know if it should be very interesting, but I think Miami should win this game because Miami's undefeated at home against ranked opponents throughout their whole all-time career since opening Hard Rock. But I mean, if this team USF wins this game, you know how much people are going to lose their mind. It's going to be historic. I mean, the number 5 team loses to the number 18 team, American Conference. The American team is moving up again. This will improve the American Conference more, if anything, and this is just going to keep building the culture that whatever USF is happening right there. I mean, it's going to be very interesting, and I'm of course going to take Miami. I am not going to bet against them, but that's a game that everybody should be watching around the country because if they somehow pull the upset, it's going to be crazy. If I'm going to be honest right now, I think that's going to be the craziest thing I think we've ever seen if that. I honestly think they'll have to be the number one team in the country, dude. You're beating ranked opponents every single week, and it is going to be insane. So I'm going to take them with this win. I'm going to take Miami, of course. I think Carson Beck and the boys are going to get this dub and slowing down that momentum, and then bringing back USF down to earth. Another game I think is going to be very interesting and close, honestly, is maybe Wisconsin, Alabama. Alabama. They lost to an ACC team already. They beat opponent they should destroy easily. I don't forget who they played last week, but they destroyed them pretty much. It was a bad game for whoever they played Alabama. I think it was 73 points to 0, if I'm getting that correct. Yes, Uziana Moreau, 73 to 0. That was a pathetic game. Now you're playing Wisconsin. You're home though, but you should beat Wisconsin, right? That's what we thought with Florida State. They should win this game, though, right? If they lose this game, I think it's going to be questions. It's a lot of talks. about Bama. So Bama, you should win this game easily, if anything. And you're going to have to play Georgia at Georgia next week. So you got to build a momentum. So you got to be 2-1. You can't be 1-2 heading into Georgia. So that should be very interesting. Also, another game I got to say it's going to catch my eye. If I had to say another game. It's this college week is very interesting. Oh, this game, can A&M get their get back pretty much? You're playing at Notre Dame also. At Notre Dame, I'm at the Irish. Irish need to get a get back pretty much. Losing to Miami earlier this year, you almost came back with CJ Carr. It was 27-24 if I'm believing that final score was correct. But, this team kind of needs a win. If Notre Dame wants to make a playoffs again, they have to beat A&M. And A&M, if you want to make a playoff push, you got to beat Notre Dame. You got to win these games. You can't understand. Winning these games against these type of opponents is going to help your boost because A&M last year, it came down to the wire of them making the SEC championship or making the playoffs pretty much. But they did lose to Texas, and that pretty much made them lose that not make the SEC championship. And they had another 8-4 season like a normal A&M year. But that's A&M for you. But if the Irish should win this game, in my opinion. They have the better roster than A&M. A&M, though, want to get their get back pretty much, I think. If they're playing in a hostile environment. This is a night game, if I'm getting this correct. 6:30. This is going to be a very tight game. It's going down to the wire. But I think CJ Carr and Jeremiah. Another thing is, give the ball to Jeremiah Love. Jeremiah Love is the best running back in the country. I don't care what people say. This man is going to lead the country in the rushing yards if they use him right. And then the O-line is really good, too, for Notre Dame. Notre Dame has a good team. They have the two of the best corners in the country, too. This team should make another playoff push, if anything. It really depends if they can start hot and give the ball to their best player, pretty much. So that's where I stand with them. And I'm going to take Notre Dame in this game. And I think Notre Dame wins big. And I think they're going to get, not big, but I think they're going to win this game. Because if they want to make a playoffs, they got to win this game. Another game I think it's going to be very interesting is Florida versus LSU. I believe this game is this in LSU? Yes, it's in LSU. LSU is 6.5 too, and it's 6:30, also a night game. Florida has a tough schedule. We know that. Florida is probably the hardest schedule in the country, and they somehow got to win this game if they want to keep their season alive. Same with their coach. Their coach is on the fire. It is red hot for their coach, and if he has another somehow bowl season or something like that, they were the number 13 team country last week, and then they lost to Burn Brown and USF pretty much. You can't have that. But Florida, they're on the toughest schedule. They're going to lose. Plus Mississippi State came out with a win crazy last week against Arizona State. So it's going to get tough. But LSU, man, you should take care of business. It's going to be a good game. SEC is always a tough battle, but I think they should easily come with a good win, if anything. That's where I stand with these two teams. Another team I think that should be very interesting. If I'm gonna get this correct, also I think LSU should get the win with this game. This is a shocking one. Also, Temple versus if I'm getting this correct, it's Temple OU. Temple's the home team in this game. Temple, American Temple versus the SEC OU. I'm very concerned how this game's going to go. A lot of people are going to be saying it's upset alert, if anything. This is a number 13 team, Oklahoma, and they just got a big win over Michigan. A lot of people say maybe an upset. I mean, the thing is, though, they're favorite negative 23.5. I mean, it's big favorites in this game. I think OU should take the dub. But, I mean, this is a game you should watch because, I mean, they're on the road. So, I mean, it should be very interesting. Playing in Pennsylvania is very interesting, especially Philadelphia. Another game, if I had to, look around the league, eye-catching to me, I mean, you got a couple good games. I mean, Arkansas, Ole Miss, that should be a really good game because Austin Simmons, dude, 3 touchdowns and 4 interceptions this year and only 500 yards. I mean, this guy's supposed to be that guy. I mean, I know he's 19 years old. This is his first season as a starter. He's going to get better. But, You can't lose this game. You almost lost to Kentucky last week. I know it was at Kroger Field, but now you're playing Arkansas. I believe they are home in this game. Yes, they are home. I mean, that's another tough opponent. I mean, the SEC is going to get tough. Everyone's battling for their job in the SEC. Everyone's going to battle for each other and trying to get that job pretty much, or will keep their job alive because, I mean, everyone's on the hot seat. Everyone is on the hot seat. So, I mean, Lane Kiffin, if anything, I think they got to win this game. They should win this game, but I mean, Taylor Green in Arkansas, I mean, they could make a comeback. They could honestly shock the world. I mean, don't be surprised. Another game I think it's very interesting. Also, I know I've been saying interesting a lot. Is South Carolina versus Vanderbilt, the underdogs throughout last season, throughout their whole life. Vanderbilt, Diego and those boys, man. I mean. And Eli Stowers, if I'm really that tight end they have also. I mean, this game is going to be underrated. I mean, you're at South Carolina, another late night game. I mean, because Vanderbilt should be ranked, in my opinion, over couple. I know the SEC has so many ranked opponents, like Auburn and Missouri joined last week on the rankings, AP rankings, but just don't be surprised if we see a close game in this game. I mean, this is going to be close. Diego and the boys want to shock the world, but can Landon Sellers and that, Dylan Stewart shock, limit those people and just say, pretty much you're not winning this game pretty much. You're just going to be that opponent. You're just still Vanderbilt. It's going to be a tough crowd. Gamecocks are one of those toughest plays, but you look at Vanderbilt's schedule. I mean, you do get this win at South Carolina. It's going to be shocking because you do got to play Alabama. I do believe they can beat Alabama. I know if they somehow win this game, you got to play LSU, Missouri, Texas, Auburn, Kentucky, Tennessee. They have one of the toughest schedules in the conference. Same with Florida next to them. So it should be a very good game. But I'm going to take South Carolina in this game. I trust Landon Sellers and Dylan Stewart to win this game pretty much. If there's a game that's just there's a lot of good games. It's only week 3. We're just opening the conference pretty much. Nothing too crazy. You got a couple good games. If I had, they're just decent. Nothing too crazy. You got Pittsburgh, West Virginia, the rivalry right there, backyard pretty much. I mean, those have history. I think, though, Pittsburgh should get this win. UTEP versus Texas is kind of funny because, the quarterback for UTEP was the number 1 ranked quarterback and Arch was, the number 3, and now they're battling it off. Who expected that? I forget the quarterback is Nelson, I believe, for them, if I'm getting that correct. Let me see. Because I remember the quarterback was the number 1 ranked quarterback for them. Yeah, Mache Nelson, I believe. I don't know if I butchered that name pretty much, but he was the number 1 ranked quarterback from USC. Didn't start at Boise State, transferred to UTEP. But I mean, this game should be very interesting. It should be. And also, we got to talk about the warning in the room. Nico last night he had a terrible game. They lost to New Mexico State. There has to be a talk about Nico now. Nico has. I mean, he's doing decent. I mean, I don't think he's having a bad year. But UCLA's 0-3, lost to New Mexico State, and this man was projected to be the top quarterback in this draft class, I believe. I think he was supposed to be the next guy next to Arch, Landon Sellers, Drew Aller, Garrett Nussmeier. He was with those top guys. Now this guy looks like he's going to be in college forever. He's going to try to revamp his offense, revamp his not offense, but his brand. Because you left Tennessee, you left an SEC team, and you went to the Big Ten, and now you're getting owned by every single team. Utah was the first team, New Mexico tonight, or last night, and this is getting bad. This is getting so bad for you. And you lost to UNLV also. I mean, his stats this season is 300, almost 400 yards, 2 TDs, and 2 interceptions. this guy is college, like he's going to be a college quarterback for a while. This guy's not going to draft anytime soon. If he does, that is idiot of him. That's just his ego right there. But if this guy really thought he was worth the money in Tennessee, and then Tennessee is just riding high, and we'll see what Tennessee does. Somehow beating Georgia will be insane, and it would be shocking the world. It's kind of crazy. They swapped quarterbacks pretty much. Joey was from UCLA, transferred to Tennessee, and then kind of QB trade, if anything. If I look at every single matchup, I think we look at these games, and it's going to be a good week of college. I think it's going to be a great week. We're still going to get better every single week. It's just you got to love college football, man. College football is one of the best sports in the country. Texas State versus Arizona State, the Porridge schools. That should be an underrated matchup. Texas State's 2-0. Looking decent, and Arizona State needs a big win, but I think Arizona State should take their dub and take a big win off that. And last night also, Colorado. This is 1-2 now in the in the conference. Houston is coming up, bro. Connor Wickman is going to be a name to remember, dude. Connor Wickman he's making a statement in Houston, trying to show how an SEC quarterback plays in the Big 12, and he's doing pretty decent. He's having a decent year. He had 15 yards, 22 yards, last night. Houston's looking good, 3-0. Not bad, not too shabby, and I think they're gonna be a name to watch in the Big 12. And Colorado, man, I don't know what you do. Your quarterback situation is falling apart. What is going on? I know they played Ryan Stubb last night, and it didn't look good. It didn't. He tried his best, and then they don't want to play Salter anymore. And it's just I don't know. What is going on? What do they want to do with this quarterback situation? Deion Sanders is now 14-4 in college career, and I have no clue, honestly. And, I hope this team figures it out, and, yeah. But I think that is all for today. I thank y'all for joining today for TPC episode, and I will get a new upload tomorrow, if anything, with NFL predictions, and I will be with other people. So thank y'all for joining me today.